welcome back to the Masonry Carving Workshop. Today we're carrying on with this cartouche. So if you haven't watched cartouche part 1, go back and watch that where I am making this stone, squaring it up and turning it and stuff. This video we're going to be working in the moulding and putting in some bead and reel and rope mould, which if you don't know what that is, just carry on watching and it'll be explained. Anyway, let's jump straight back in. No chit chat. Let's do it. Lovely! Now I can apply that to there, draw that line on and we can cut the rebate. I'll go saying that's 370 millimeters. Right, look at that, lovely. Forget about the tripod. Look at that. Lovely jubbly, little rebate, little rebate, little rebate. Cool, right. Now, next job is take that out, turn it around so the curve's this way, because this is where I like to stand. I don't like to stand on the back side of that. And then we're gonna work this we're gonna work this moulding through. So this is what we got. We got this Taurus. This is called a Taurus. That mould there. Right, Taurus. And then, I mean, I guess that's a Taurus as well. Yeah, it's a Taurus as well. So I'm gonna cut that rebate out first. So that will come out first. And then chamfer, cut, chamfers between those chamfers, rub it round, and we've got to do it all the way along there. And how we're going to mark all these lines on is we're going to trammel them, but using a trammel, not my fingers. So, as I'm sure you probably noticed, I was using a sinking square as I was going along, and I set that high, so I made sure that I was high, and then I made sure that with each cut, well, not with each cut, but every so often I'll check it with that to make sure that I wasn't diving low. Here, as you can probably see, I did dive low, and I was going low, and that got a bit sketchy because I've actually got a gap under that there. But I know because I've set it high that I'm still above my line, so it's okay. But as long as you then course correct, lift yourself up and then carry on, then yeah, the more you do it, the less you have to check, because the better your eye gets. If you did that to start with, if you had only ever just really started picking up a grinder, then you probably want to do a cut and then check each one with the sinking square to make sure you don't dive away. And then, like I say, the more you do it, the better you get, just like anything else. So now I'm gonna snip that edge up, and then use a sinking square to basically tilt my blade forwards just slightly, to like put a draft in all the way along here at the right depth, and then I'll do the same here, and then I'll rip the middle out and make sure that I'm straight between point to point, and then I'll put a straight edge this across it as well, so we make a nice flat surface in there. The whole thing is going to get carved with a rope moulding, so it doesn't really have to be super perfect, because the rope moulding will also get rubbed up. So I've just kind of like given it a bit of a rub in, just to make sure it's nice and round. I've changed my plan with regards to this. I was going to try and work this bit here in its current position, but then I figured I'm turning it onto its top later on anyway, so I might as well leave that bit until it's turned on its top and it's much easier to work. So my plan is I'm going to do the rope mould on this. I'm going to work this part of the curve here, this part of the curve here, and then I'm going to leave that bit, and then I'll work the bead and reel, which is well, I'll show you in the drawing. This bit is a bead and reel detail. It's quite obviously called a bead and reel because it looks like two beads and a reel. And yeah, so I'm going to work that bead and reel detail around, but leave the bit where it goes in there. And then when I turn it onto its top, I will then work that bit of the moulding in and work the bead and reel in that when it's in a much more comfortable position. I'm just going to work this round now. I mean, do you guys want to see it? I mean, you've seen me work loads of round stuff already, so should we do the classic finger click thing, where we go like that? and then it's done, just like that. Yeah, that was easy, wasn't it? This is a face mould given to me by the guys who are doing the rest of the other stones. So he's already set out the spacing for all the rope mould and the bead and reel, as you can see here. So this is the center line. I don't know if you can see that. This is the center line, and that is the center between the two beads. So what I've just quickly done is just cut these little holes out, these little hole punches. So now I can lay this on my stone and just put a little mark in the center of where those are, and then I know the center between each bead and reel. He sent me this photograph. Bing. And he's also given me the face mould for the two adjoining stones, which are the two ones that he's making. This here, Exhibit A, right? And what this tells me is that this, here you go, top curve, bottom jams. So what this tells me is that we've got two beads here and then a reel. So I'm starting on a reel. And that's all I need to know, really. And I just need to make sure it works out, that it works evenly across, and in the center there we have a reel, a solid reel. So yeah, I'm going to apply this now, put some marks on, and then there's lots and lots of lines to be drawn.
I don't want to tie you up now. I don't want to do the thing. I don't want to have you, baby. I just want to have a fling. I want to go down, stay, kissing your feet, and you make me crazy.
There we go. So we've got our center line, which I've written CL on, so I know that's the center line.
Tell me what you want to do. Give me everything you got. I just want to
Hairspray, so I can literally just give it a little, and I know now that those lines will set and they won't come off until I want them off, and then I can just give them a little tiny rub and they'll be gone. So, you've probably seen this, you might have seen this in the background of one of the shots, but I've got this piece here, which is one that's come from the other company that are doing the stone with me, or the project with me. I just wanted to double check that everything is correlating correctly, which it is, which is great. So spacing out works nicely. V cuts are the same depth, and then I just wanted to also clarify the angle of this rope mold that's being put on, which I've got a nifty little template for, which I can bob on there and then slide it along, mighty line, slide it along, mighty line, slide it along, mighty line. Very nice, look at that. Genius! Right, that's the bead and reel done. That's the accessible bead and reel done. Anyway, this is the accessible bead and reel done. Now I need to set out this rope mold. I've got my center line here. What the client wanted, and also what I thought would look quite nice, is if instead of that rope mold continuously running all the way around, if it is symmetrical, so it runs around one way one side, one way the other. That's really hard to say. It winds one way round one side and the other way round the other side. Then obviously in the middle, that's going to meet in like a triangular section. So that's the V-cut done, and the next stage is to do the small chamfers, which I've just done on these two here. Right, now that rope mold's done, or as close to done as I need it to be right now anyway. I say that as if it's not done. It is done. I don't like being committal to saying that it's done, because you can always improve things. You can always spend more time on things. Sometimes you just need to know when to stop, because spending too much time on things is one, non-profitable, and two, quite frankly, sometimes unnecessary. You need to know when the exact right point is where you go, right, that looks smart. It's always going to be viewed from at least 3 meters away because it's about 3 meters high. So that to me looks great. I'm happy. So let's give it a turn. Keep going, keep going. So there we have it, the finished embellishment carvings. I've left them shy on the end so we can work that out, pair it into the next ones once the whole stone's done and the other stones are also done. So, for the minute, I think we're going to leave it here for this episode, and we will catch you guys at the next one where we're going to start roughing out the moulding and exposing that central carving block for the cartouche. Until then, if you could like, subscribe, blah, 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 blah. Catch you later.